If you're still clicking through your web app manually every time a developer pushes new code, I need you to stop what you're doing and watch this episode. Because there is a better way, and it's called Selenium. Selenium is the most widely used web automation tool in the world. It lets you write code that controls a real browser, clicking buttons, filling out forms, navigating pages, all without touching the mouse. And the best part? You can run those same steps hundreds of times, on demand, in seconds. Right now, companies are hiring QA engineers who know Selenium. It shows up in almost every automation job description you'll find. And yet, a lot of QA engineers avoid it because they think it's too technical or too hard to set up. Today I'm going to prove that wrong. In this episode, you're going to learn exactly what Selenium is, how it works under the hood, and how to write your very first automated browser test from scratch. No prior automation experience required. If you can write basic Python, you can do this. Let's get into it. Before we write any code, let's talk about what Selenium is actually doing when it runs. Selenium works through something called WebDriver. WebDriver is a protocol, basically a set of rules, that allows your Python code to communicate with a browser. When you tell Selenium to click a button, your code sends an HTTP request to a WebDriver server, and that server tells the browser what to do. The browser responds, and Selenium reports back what happened. Each browser has its own driver. Chrome uses Chrome driver. Firefox uses Gecko driver. Edge has its own too. These drivers act as translators between Selenium's commands and the browser's internal engine. Now, historically, setting up these drivers was a pain. You had to download the right version manually and keep it in sync with your browser version. But today, we use a package called webdriver-manager that handles all of that automatically. You install it once, and it figures out the right driver version and downloads it for you. No more version mismatch errors. No more hunting for the right file. The other thing to understand is that Selenium is language agnostic. It supports Python, Java, JavaScript, C#, and more. We're using Python because it's readable, beginner-friendly, and the most popular choice in the QA community right now. Alright, let's get your environment set up. You need three things: Python, the Selenium package, and WebDriver-manager. If you don't have Python installed yet, go to python.org, download the latest version, and make sure you check the box that says add Python to path during installation. That one checkbox saves a lot of headaches. Once Python is installed, open your terminal or command prompt and run pip install Selenium. That installs the core Selenium library. Then run pip install WebDriver-manager. That installs the tool that automatically manages your Chrome driver for you. Now open a code editor. VS Code is a great free choice, and create a new file called test_login.py. At the top of the file, add these imports. From Selenium import WebDriver. From selenium.webdriver.chrome.service import service. From webdriver_manager.chrome import Chrome driver manager. Those 3 lines give you everything you need to launch a Chrome browser from code. To verify the setup works, add this driver equals webdriver.chrome of service of Chrome driver manager.install. Then driver.get of https://www.google.com, then print of driver.title. Then driver.quit. Run the file. If Chrome opens, loads Google, and you see Google printed in your terminal, your setup is complete. That's it. You're ready to write real tests. Now let's write something actually useful. We're going to automate a Google search and verify that the results page loads correctly. This is a simple but complete example that covers the 3 core actions you'll use in almost every Selenium test: navigate, interact, and assert. Start with your imports and driver setup from the last scene. After driver.get of google.com, we need to find the search box. In Selenium, you find elements on the page using locators. The most reliable locator is by ID, but you can also use name, class name, CSS selector, or XPath. The Google search box has a name attribute of Q. So we write search_box equals driver.find_element of by.name, Q. Then, search_box.send_keys of QA career lab. Then, search_box.submit. Now we wait for the results page to load and verify what we see. Add assert QA career lab in driver.title. If that assertion passes, it means the page title contains our search term, which confirms the search worked. If it fails, Selenium throws an error and tells you exactly what the title actually was. Finish with driver.quit to close the browser cleanly. Run the script. Watch Chrome open, search Google, and close itself. You just wrote your first automated web test. This same pattern, find, interact, assert, is the foundation of every Selenium test you'll ever write. Here's where most beginners run into trouble. You write your test, it works perfectly on your machine, and then it randomly fails half the time for no obvious reason. The cause is almost always the same thing: timing. Modern web apps load content dynamically. When Selenium tries to click a button or read some text, that element might not be on the page yet. And if Selenium can't find it, it throws a no such element exception and your test fails. The wrong fix is to add time.sleep everywhere. Sleep is fragile. Sleep for 2 seconds works until the page takes 3 seconds to load, and then you're back to flaky tests. The right fix is Selenium's built-in wait system. There are 2 types. Implicit waits tell Selenium to wait up to a set amount of time whenever it can't find an element immediately. You set it once with driver.implicitly_wait of 10, and it applies globally. Explicit waits are more powerful. They let you wait for a specific condition, like an element being visible, or clickable, or containing certain text. You use webdriver-wait and expected conditions for this. For example, from selenium.webdriver.support.ui import webdriver-wait. From selenium.webdriver.support import expected_conditions as EC. Then, wait equals webdriver-wait of driver, 10. Element equals wait until of ec.element to be clickable of by.id, submit button. Use explicit waits for anything interactive. They make your tests fast when the page is quick and patient when it's slow. That's the mark of a reliable test suite. Let's recap what you learned today. Selenium uses WebDriver to control real browsers from code. Python plus Selenium plus webdriver-manager is all you need to get started. The core pattern is navigate, find, interact, and assert. And waits, especially explicit waits, are what separates flaky tests from reliable ones. If you followed along and ran your first test, you've already done something that a lot of people in QA have never done. That matters. Automation skills are what push your career from manual tester to someone who builds systems that catch bugs automatically every single time code changes. In the next episode, we're going from single scripts to a full testing framework. I'll show you PyTest, the testing tool that every serious Python automation engineer uses. You'll learn how to organize your tests, run only the ones you want, and get clear reports when something fails. That's episode 14, and it builds directly on everything you learned here today. If this helped you, subscribe to QA Career Lab. New episodes drop daily, and every single one is built around real skills that QA engineers actually use on the job. Hit the like button if you're following along with the series. I'll see you in the next one.